Finally, Ursidae, any of 8 species of large short-tailed carnivores found in the Americas, Europe, and Asia. The sun bear, Hylarctos malayanus, is the smallest, often weighing less than 50 kilograms, 110 pounds. The largest bear is either the Kodiak bear, Ursus arctos middendorfi, a subspecies of Alaskan brown bear, see also grizzly bear, or the polar bear, Ursus maritimus, depending upon which measurements are considered. Either of these bears can weigh up to 720 kilograms, 1,600 pounds. The black bear, Ursus americanus, is common in parts of the United States and Canada. Bears are generally omnivorous, but dietary preferences range from seals for the entirely carnivorous polar bear to assorted vegetation for the largely herbivorous spectacled bear, Tremarctos ornatus. The giant panda, Ailuropoda melanoleuca, eats only bamboo. Usually gaining weight beforehand, most bears sleep fitfully through much of the winter, but they do not truly hibernate. Despite their bulk, most bears climb with ease and swim strongly. Natural history. Ursids are mainly animals of northern temperate regions and are found farther north than any other mammal. The Arctic fox is found as far north on land, but the polar bear regularly roams on sea ice hundreds of kilometers from shore. Africa and Australia lack bears entirely. The spectacled bear of South America's Andes Mountains is the only bear species that lives south of the equator. Although clumsy in appearance, bears can move surprisingly fast, even through dense cover that would seriously impede a human or a horse. Their senses of sight and hearing, however, are poorly developed, and most hunting is done by smell. Some, such as black bears and spectacled bears, are strong climbers, and all are strong swimmers, most notably the polar bear. Bears do not generally communicate by sound and usually are quiet, but they do growl at times when feeding, when being challenged by another bear or by humans, and when competing for mates. Except for the carnivorous polar bear and the vegetarian giant panda, ursids are omnivorous, consuming many items that seem small for an animal of such large size. Ants, bees, seeds of trees, roots, nuts, berries, insect larvae such as grubs, and even the dainty dogtooth violet are eaten. Many bears relish honey, and the sun bear is sometimes called the honey bear because of this. Prey taken by bears includes rodents, fish, deer, pigs, and seals. Grizzlies, a North American subspecies of the brown bear, Ursus arctos, are known for their skillful fishing during the spawning runs of salmon. The polar bear's diet is dictated by the Arctic environment, as little vegetation grows within its range. The Asian sloth bear, Melursus ursinus, delights especially in raiding and destroying termite nests, sucking up termites and larvae with its funnel-like lips. The giant panda has a special bone formation of the forefoot that functions as a sixth digit. It is opposable to the other 5 and thus is useful in handling bamboo. Most bears, including the American and Asiatic black bears, Ursus americanus and U. tibetanus, eat large amounts of food before entering a den for a period of deep sleep during the winter. The polar bear digs a den in the snow, whereas grizzlies build large mounds of dirt in front of their dens. Bears, however, lack the physiological characteristics, lower heart rate, body temperature, breathing rate, and blood pressure, exhibited by animals that truly hibernate. Male polar bears sometimes congregate, but otherwise bears are solitary except during the mating season. Then they tend to congregate, pair off, and mate in seclusion. The male leaves the female soon after mating and plays no role in raising the young. Gestation periods vary, the fertilized egg remaining dormant in the uterus, delayed implantation, which ensures the birth of young, while the female is in the winter den and guarantees that the cubs will emerge from the den in the spring, when food is abundant. Ursids breed once per year at most, and many bears breed only every 2 to 4 years. The breeding season is usually in late spring or early summer. Delayed implantation results in most births occurring in January or February. Newborn bears weigh about half a kilogram, 1 pound, and are about 23 centimeters, 9 inches, long from the nose to the tip of the short tail. Twins are most common in bears, but up to 5 young may be produced. The cubs nurse for a few months and stay with the female until the next breeding, about a year and a half or more after birth. Most young, however, can get along on their own by about 6 months of age. Bears reach breeding condition at 3.5 to 6 years of age, males usually maturing later than females. Longevity of bears in the wild ranges from 15 to 30 years, but in captivity they can live considerably longer. Because of their large size, bears have few natural enemies in the wild. Most mortality occurs because of hunting by humans. On occasion, bears that fail to accumulate enough fat to last throughout the winter may die of starvation. Young bears are more vulnerable to predation because of their smaller size and thus may be killed by other carnivores such as wolves or cougars, but most importantly by other bears, especially males. For this reason, females with cubs are highly protective of their young in the vicinity of males. Home ranges occupied by individual bears vary in size depending on the abundance of food, and larger areas are used when food is in short supply. Although highly variable among geographic areas and even among seasons, American black bears roam areas of 40 to 200 square kilometers, 15 to 77 square miles, grizzlies about 300 to 700 square kilometers, 115 to 270 square miles. Some polar bears trek across ranges of more than 125,000 square kilometers, 48,000 square miles.